everyone!
Whoa!
Whoa! I bet these aren't the costumes you were expecting to see, unless you were paying attention to our social media, which I think we might have mentioned some of this stuff about. But everyone, welcome to a very special episode of Dice Ex Machina, featuring characters from the Broken Pact. So we have a couple people in our cast who are unavailable tonight. So as a special fun thing, we are doing a one-shot that is going to be run by guest GM Jameson. Let's give him a quick little
hi, everyone.
Round of applause. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we are going to be Astarock and Tutaru from the Broken Pact. So we get to find out a little bit of what they're doing here in Theros. But as always, before we start our show, of course, we are always looking for to get people engaged and stuff like that. And our goal for tonight is to get $250 for the episode, which lets us continue to pay our cast and keep content like this on the air. And even if you can't afford to back us, please spread the word and share and let friends and family know about the wonderful things that are happening here on Saving Throw.
Yes.
If we do hit that $250 goal tonight, we will unlock a pull from a Magic the Gathering booster pack. And we will use those cards at some point in the adventure going forward. They have made big differences in the past, which has been...
Yes.
Yeah, like kind of fun a couple times. So yeah, if you are feeling like donating or tipping, then just a tip of $15 will let you send us a message, which we will read live on air, which is a message from the gods. And we'll pick up a glass and toast to your name and say whatever you want to say, as long as it's, something that's fun and not bad.
PG-13.
We reserve the right not to say things if it's clear that we shouldn't say them. So just, send us your goofy, heartfelt messages and let's, crush those fundraising goals. That would be great.
Yes.
And
And
as for our
also,
sponsors, I will throw it over to Ashlyn.
well, thank you. And we're going to give a special thanks to our sponsors real quick before we get started. First off, we have none other but Roll20 and Hero Forge for supporting us. Roll20 gives you the feel of tabletop, but virtually. You get access to great maps, you get the tokens, you also get sound effects, which I didn't realize until very recently, dynamic lighting, and a lot more. Use !Roll20 in chat to get a lot more info, and type !Hero Forge in the chat as well to check out the wonderful customization tools they've created, and they work well together. You've seen our characters in there. We've shown them on screen a lot of times. And check them out. They sponsor us. They support us. We love them. We've also partnershiped with Die Hard Dice. You can save 10% at Die Hard Dice by using the code ROLLDICE at the checkout. Use command !DH dice in chat for links and info. And you can order our friend Critical Bard's dice set from them. Even though he's not here tonight, you can still be supporting him and all the amazing things he's doing through them. So
He's here in
check
spirit,
them out.
right?
He is. He really is.
Yeah.
And
Feel
little
it.
snake friends.
And if you were watching us on YouTube, thank you so much for that. Do us a solid and give us a like, comment, subscribe, and smash that little bell. All the YouTube stuff that people are supposed to say about YouTube, because it helps the show and the channel as a whole. And lastly, if you would like to support the channel through tips and monthly subscriptions via Ko-Fi, enter !Ko-Fi. Coffee. Sorry, I always thought it was Ko-Fi.
It's okay.
Anyway, it's Ko-Fi. !Ko-Fi in the chat to check it out. On Coffee, you can tip as you would regularly, but you can also join the Exploration Society with a monthly amount. You get the same great rewards as Patreon, and you can unlock things like toast with your tips. Plus, Coffee doesn't take a cut, so nearly 100% of your tip goes straight to the channel. After PayPal, but, that's just how stuff works. So thank you very much. And with all of that intro stuff out of the way, I will toss it over to our glorious guest DM, Jameson.
Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here. Super excited to be playing with you all. One quick note on the Ko-Fi thing. I just wrote an adventure. If you donate now, you can get access to that adventure.
Ooh, very cool.
Oh, yeah. yeah.
Fun stuff for the Halloween times.
That's the, is it the dungeon in a box or is it?
Nope, this is completely separate for saving throw only, exclusively to saving
Oh,
throw.
how cool.
Yes. All right. So, Tuturu and Ashlyn, you both, sorry, Tuturu and Astaroth, right?
That's great.
Tutru and Ashlyn is just
I
one
mean,
person.
yes.
Just one person. It's just one person game. That's all we're doing.
I just
Okay.
sign off after that.
Yeah,
Like,
goodbye.
great.
Good plan.
Thanks, Jordan.
Gonna go play some magic. I'll see you later. So, Tuturuk and Astaroth, you both are on Theros, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You had been traveling the land. It's unclear what your goal was at this time, but recently you had gotten a letter. The letter was addressed to both of you, and inside of it had specific notes from your past, from only people that would have had some close relation to you would know. For Astaroth, it mentions your mother, but it's very unclear as to what it is. For Tuturu, it talks about Muki and your connection with them. Now, this letter is from Dimba Fotis from the town of Tranquil Ridge. And he's asked for you to come visit him. There's something important that he needs to talk to you about. In there is a phrase called "time reveals all." It's very unclear what that means. And you have no memory of who Dimba Fotis is.
I don't have any memory of this Dimba Fotis. How about you, I'm sorry, I'm Astaroth.
Got you doing it too.
Boy, yeah. I guess my memory's been all a little messed up. What do you think, Tuturu?
Yeah, I definitely don't remember anyone called this, but they know Mookie, and they seem to know something about your mother, and we still haven't found anything out about him, so
Yeah.
a lead's a lead.
I gotta say, someone knowing that sort of information here on Theros, it seems like we gotta at least check it out.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we tried to run into a group of Minotaurs and find out more information, it did not go well. That labyrinth thing, I didn't think we'd ever get out of it.
You know, I thought it was kind of fun, actually. I don't know, something deep inside me was like, labyrinths just like felt right, you know? And it was cool that a bunch of them started like wearing the horn after me, you know? I didn't think I was that
cool. But hey, you are inspiring, so.
Thanks.
Wonderful.
All right, well, let's hit this Tranquil Ridge up.
All right. So you gather your belongings, any supplies that you may need, and you take the hike up to Tranquil Ridge. From what you know, it's a farm town not too far from where you're at. Though neither of you have been there, you have heard of it. When you arrive in Tranquil Ridge, the ground is cold and hard. The air is just chilling you to the bones as you move through it. And you see many houses boarded up, shops closed. Yet in the center of the town, there sits a giant water fountain to the god of Athara. As you move through the town looking for the address on the map, you finally find it. What do you do? It's a small house, one story. Oh.
All right.
Hold on. Looks like we have a toast.
Oh, wait. I'll handle this one.
Thank you,
Man,
sir.
With wherewithal, look, I'm not going to say this one on air. How dare you write such a dastardly evil message? We said to keep it PG, you fiend, you cad, you ne'er-do-well. For shame. For shame!
For shame.
Cheers with wherewithal.
For shame.
There's nothing in this, but I'm willing to toast. Thank you very much.
Thank you, friend.
Yes, thank you.
For the tip and the toast.
You're always so much fun with your toast. So creative.
Mm-hmm. So you get to the house. One story. You see people moving about the town, going about their business. What do you do?
All right. I mean, how wary do you think we got to be of this person? I mean, they should know a lot about us that I wouldn't expect people to know.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What were you asking me, Astaroth? I was very distracted by watching all the people.
No, it's no problem. I'm just, going through a little bit of my Wojak training. When you go into a new situation, they said you should immediately try and assess the threat level. And I don't know, this seems like a stranger who knows about us. Only has one floor in their house, so I mean, how threatening could it be? But yeah,
Astaroth, your weapon is unsheathed.
Did I take it out?
It's in your hand.
All right, well, I guess my instincts kicked in. Yeah, look, I just say, we come in, we let them know that if there's something that's weird going on, we've got the wherewithal to handle it. And we're going in with wherewithal,
Yeah, I mean, we could probably just knock, and you can, be safe, be you, whatever you're comfortable with. You go at that level, but we probably don't need to make them feel like we're threatening them, right?
Yeah. No. I think that's a smart way to do it. You do the diplomatic approach, and I'll have my axe, but I'll be like, I don't want to use it.
There we go. Yeah, I'll knock then. How's that sound? And you stay back with that.
All right.
Level of axe threatening that you're at.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and look like I'm not angry, but I have the capability of getting pretty angry pretty fast,
Yeah.
You possess the capacity for anger. Okay.
Exactly.
Perfect. All right. Tuthuru, as you move up towards the steps, before you've even reached them, you stumble a bit. Right yourself. Don't see exactly what you tripped on, but you're able to approach the door without issue. As you reach out and knock, no response is given. Do you knock again?
Probably, but louder. I'd be like,
okay.
Hello? We're looking for, what's the name again?
Dima Fotis.
Dima Fotis! We're here.
No response again.
All right, let me try this. I got a pretty good knock back in the Legion.
I guess that's fair. You probably knocked on a lot of doors, huh?
Bang, 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 bang! Boros Legion, open up!
As you bang on the door, you see the actual foundation shudder a little bit. Some of the masonry begins to fall from the sides of the building. But still, no response. To your left, you hear an old woman call out to you. No one lives there.
Oh. Well, sorry for knocking so loud then, ma'am.
Oh, not a problem.
Do you know like a photo Demas?
No, can't say I do.
Hey, if no one lives here, no one's gonna be upset if I break down the door, will they?
I mean, no, I don't think so. I mean,
thanks, ma'am. And he's just going to try and kick the door in.
Oh my! The door flies off the hinges. It's barely being held on as is from your knock, and it just tumbles inwards.
Okay.
As you enter, you see this is a very quaint lived-in home. There's fresh food stocked in the shelves, tiny bed, and portraits, hand-drawn portraits of both of you, locked arm in arm with this halfling.
Well, okay. First things first. Seems like that lady was wrong about nobody living here.
Yeah. Tuturu's gonna lean out the door again to look for her and be like, Are you sure no one lives here? Because it looks like someone lives here.
No one's lived there for years. It's always been empty.
She looks back in. Huh.
Yeah, and second thing second. There's a picture of us here, Tutoru.
Yeah, there is. I don't. Okay.
And we've got a tiny human between us.
Yeah, I don't remember that person. Who? Do you remember them?
Nope. I can't say I do. I mean, I've been hit in the head a couple times, so there's a chance I've lost something, but I mean, if you don't remember it, huh.
I mean...
From behind you, you hear a very loud harumph. Spinning on your heels to see where the voice is coming from, it looks to be emanating from a large tiefling with a very, well, he's very round. What do you think you're doing in here?
Oh, well, there was a lady who said nobody lived here and that no one would mind if we broke the door down. And I don't know, I've never said no to an excuse to break down a door.
Just because no one lives here doesn't give you right to enter it. It's somebody's property.
What are you doing here?
I'm the town guard.
Well, we asked that lady permission before we did it.
Yeah?
She has no right to give permission to enter others' houses.
All right, look. Let me de-escalate the situation a little bit, all right? I'm a cop too. Here. And he pulls out a worn and beaten letter that you almost can't read anymore. But when you see it, it clearly has the name Aurelia on there somewhere, and Wojek and Astaroth. And that's basically all you can read at this point. It has been well-worn and passed from hand to hand.
Give me even or odd.
Odd.
Okay, he scans the letter. This is just gibberish. I can't even read this.
Ah, that's okay. It's more of a symbolic thing anyway. And he grabs it and he pulls it back. Look, basically what it says is that I'm a Wojek of the Boros Legion. You might not know him here, but basically I'm a cop and I'm kind of like, you know, a good at it cop who got promotions and such. And, you know, that means if I break it down a door, it's for good legal reasons.
If you're breaking down a door, you know you need a reason to go in. And just because someone isn't answering isn't reason enough.
Well, we did have a letter from the person who lives here, and
that's impossible. No one lives here.
But are you serious? There's like food here.
He steps inwards and looks about. Well, it must be a squatter. That's obviously what it is. No one has lived here. I'll have someone come through and clean this up.
Then maybe we were here to try and handle the squat person.
Give me a deception check. I mean, since you ended it with squat person, I'll give you advantage on that.
All right. Okay, deception is not my best if you can't tell.
What?
So I got a 19 on the dice, which is an 18, and a 5 on the dice, which is a 4.
Well, it's a good thing you got that advantage. Yes, you succeed. Oh, well. If you're here to handle the squat person, well, then I'll let you have at it. And don't cause any more trouble in my town.
Absolutely not. And what was your name, good guards person?
Tomas.
Tomas, thank you so much for your diligence.
Yeah, great to meet you, Tomas. And Astaroth goes for a like big strong handshake.
Okay, he wilts under your grasp.
That's all right. You can work on that.
Indeed. And he kind of walks off, eyeing you, but giving you the space.
Oh, that was close. Okay.
Yeah, it was never that big a deal. Lawmen have sort of a special language between us. I lie about solving crimes. He doesn't have anything to, prove otherwise. Yeah, it's just easier to let things go.
So is that kind of what, like, you and, oh my gosh, I'm starting to forget my friends' names. What is happening?
What, you mean Lucian?
Yeah, Lucian. Is that
is
that what you two always do?
Oh, no. Lucian has never lied about anything in his life.
I didn't think
if he wanted to lie, he'd have to, fill out a form to get permission.
Yeah, that does sound like Lucian. But
yeah, I miss that guy.
I do too. Okay, anyways, focus. So what we learned is we're not seeing things. That guard also saw what's in here.
There's still a chance that this is some sort of illusion. I want to grab, what food is there?
There's apples and other vegetation.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna eat
Looks
some
like this
apples.
person was a vegetarian, so
Yes, Astarock approves. Also a vegetarian.
nice.
Oh yeah, so it's true.
Yeah, all veggie team. So Astarock grabs one of the apples and just bites into it.
It's juicy and delicious, slightly warm.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, that's a real apple. Better eat a little bit more just to be sure.
Tuturu's gonna look at the pictures and like really inspect them, like try to like get a good look at this person's face and
Okay.
like see how legit these pictures look, I guess.
Okay.
Or portraits.
Since they're portraits, someone had to have drawn them.
True.
This person has raven hair, very short cut, looks to be male presenting. But yeah, big grin on his face.
Okay. Did we meet any people like this?
You said it was a halfling, right?
Correct.
I don't think we've ever met a halfling.
True, but on the same point, like we are very tall, so everything could
Right.
be
That's
a
a really
halfling.
good point. We could just be like, I don't know, humans come in all sorts of heights.
Exactly. Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, I guess we just search around, see if there's any sign of this person being around here.
Yeah.
So I want to search the house.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
Investigation. That is a dirty 20.
Nice.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. And Tutoru, what are you doing?
I'm going to reread the letter and see if there's anything I missed. Like, are we supposed to actually be here? Are we supposed to meet somewhere else?
Okay. Give me a wisdom check.
Wisdom.
Wisdom saving throw. We'll say that.
Oh, okay. Saving throws. Come on, dice. Why do you hate me so? I got a 14.
Beautiful. All right. You read and reread the letter, and yeah, no, it's addressed to you all. It talks about how they miss you and that they have something important to show you, and they need your help here, but it never says what the subject is.
All right. Well, you know what? Some friend they are, because they need help and they don't even tell us what it is. I don't know what to do.
Right? Rude. And for
Well,
your go ahead.
I still think, before we write him off too much, and Astarock picks up a glass and says something that's a little strange. But he says, well, look at this etching. Every time I do, it makes me sing. Now get out there and fight for your future. Hey, wait a minute. These are not these campaign characters. I feel like I recognize them anyway. Thanks, Vampire54. Thank you for the toast.
Thank you, friend.
Thank you.
I'll pretend to drink.
You really
Glug,
got
glug,
to fill that cup.
Role playing drinking.
I always forget to get water before these things.
Oh, we're supposed to be drinking water? Uh-oh.
Hey.
All right. So, and for your investigation, Astarock, you're going through books and you're noticing something strange. You find this person's journal, Dima's journal, and there seems to be entire pages that are blank. Talk about going to the grocery store or a harvest or something, and then nothing. Full empty pages, and then several pages later, other things about goings on of the town.
Hey, Tutoru, come check this out. Look, I found like a journal of this person, but I don't know. There's big gaps in it. Something about that seems suspicious to me.
Yeah.
I mean, why would they choose just to skip a bunch of pages?
Did they forget?
I don't know. I mean, they certainly went and wrote more afterwards. I feel like they would notice that they just skipped some of the pages. Maybe there's supposed to be something written there, but it ain't.
Oh,
you can confirm the dates are sequential, except some days are missed.
Oh, do you think it's like we see in those plays where it's like a secret hidden message type of thing?
Oh yeah, where there'll be like the Demir character who brings something that's just like a recipe, but then on the back it's a list of nobility to kill from the Orzhov or something like that.
Yeah. Like maybe they left a secret clue. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, how would we even like find it? I mean, we ain't Demir.
That's true.
So I want to check the empty pages and see if there's any sort of impressions like that. It seems as though there might have been any writing there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So you examine them. I'll even give you advantage on this.
Okay.
Looking for impressions.
Yeah. Just kind of like running my hands over it to see if it feels like there's
tilting in the light and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check, please.
That's what I assumed. All right. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
With advantage, it's a 16.
Okay. No, there's no impressions whatsoever. Normally, you'd see something, but not even from them writing on the next page. So either they had a very faint hand or there's nothing there.
Maybe they just had nothing to write that day.
Yeah, it's like those days just disappeared. It's a little strange. Anyway, guess we can file this under evidence. Maybe the person disappeared with whatever happened on these days, eh?
What if they did?
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I should treat this more like a crime scene. All right.
Through it, without realizing it, your weapon is now drawn and in your hands.
Whoa! Why? She drops it.
Astrak turns up. Why what?
I don't know. I just had my chill master mallet in my hand, and I don't know why I had it. That was really weird. I don't ever draw my weapon really unless I need to.
Hey, look.
Take that back up.
Honestly, I think it's a good instinct to have. You heard me say crime scene and something kicked in. Like, you've been hanging around with me long enough to, get a little bit of that instinct.
I don't know. Something feels off here. And I'm just Tuturu's gonna kind of just take a look at the surroundings and see if anything feels off from the house and the room in general, I think.
Okay. From inside the room, looking around, the only thing that feels off is that no one has been here for at least 2 days, judging by the dust. But there's fresh fruit and what have you here. Do you go outside and look about?
Yeah, probably. Do you want to go outside and look around? Ask around?
Maybe we should go find that Tommy character we ran into. He might know a little bit about what's going on here. I mean, seems like he was at least paying attention to the house when we showed up.
Yeah, that's true. Kind of popped out of nowhere.
So Astrak's gonna file the journal under evidence and just pop it into his pack, and then go outside and see if he can track down Tomas.
And Tuturu is going to take the portrait for now, just so that she has a frame of reference.
Good call.
Frame of reference, portrait. Love it. All right. You take your stuff. You head out. It's about midday, and you hear chiming of bells coming from the nearby temple. And it looks like the local worshippers of Afara are coming out to pray. They go to the fountain. They all kneel. And they're being led by a beautiful blonde-haired woman going on and saying, the normal prayers that you would hear for Afara. You do spot your friend Tomas on the other side of the town square, just overseeing the ceremony.
Astaroth heads over to Tomas and gives him a pat on the shoulder. He goes, "Hey, Tommy, I think we cleared the squatter out. I don't see him anymore. You all doing a little bit of Farah prayer here. Yeah, she's pretty cool.
Oh, she protects our town, so of course we
yeah.
pray to her.
No, yeah, nice lady for sure.
So you said you've cleared out the squad. Did you find where they were?
No, actually, we I wanted to have a chat with you, cop to cop about that. You see anything going on in that house anytime recently?
No, like I said, it's been empty.
I mean, it didn't look empty. There was food out, but there was no sign that anyone had been there for a couple of days.
Sneaky squatters.
Yeah, but the food didn't look like it didn't seem rotten or anything like that. I mean, it was a little warm, but I don't know. It felt like something happened suddenly.
Suddenly? Well, did you have any leads, or do you know what this person that's living there looks like?
Yeah, well, hey, Tuturu, you got that picture?
Oh, yes. And she'll pull it out and show it.
Okay. Tomas takes it, looks it over. May I keep this?
I'm having troubles with my memory right now, so I'm actually looking for it. We need it to kind of help look for them as well, because we're here to find the squat people. And so
understood. I mean,
yeah.
Would it be possible to let me borrow it so I can make a copy, and I'll have somebody run it to? Are you staying at the local inn?
We can be.
Yeah, I mean, we thought we were maybe, I don't know, staying with the person who invited us here, but it seems like they aren't. And look, I'll just be frank with you. You might have noticed that there's a picture of us in that picture too, and we don't know this person, so hence it being something of interest to us.
Does Tomas feel authentic when he says he will give it back? Does Tuturu pick up on that?
Yeah, you do feel that he has no intention of keeping the portrait. He is trying to, make a copy of it so he can hand out, so he can search for whoever this person is.
Okay.
And he was about to lead into, but why are you both in this picture? If this person was a squatter, how would they have known you?
Ain't that the question?
What we'd like to know as well,
Yes, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, it could be someone who's a fan, basically.
Are you famous?
On and off. We've done some stuff. Might not be that like everybody knows about it, but some people might have seen us. We've done, we did some work. I don't want to name drop, but we did some stuff with Perforos. Yeah, so people who know him, which is like most of you, might have, I don't know, heard about it. And Farah, we met Farah.
Oh yeah,
you've met Farah.
Oh yeah, she had the place she was at was a little weird, but I mean, she was nice for the most part.
Oh yes, kinda. Yeah, she's great. She's great.
Remember, she had she had that place where all the like houses were the same.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I know.
And like I wanted to stay there, and it turned out it was like something ensorceling my mind for a little bit.
Well, if you happen to see her again, can you have her come visit the town? She hasn't been here, and I don't even know when.
We will absolutely let her know if we ever see her again.
Yeah, I mean we can throw a request out there for sure. I mean they don't. God don't always do what you ask.
I understand. I mean, it's a lot coming from me, but it's just
no.
Normally they show up, and they haven't in a very long time.
Yeah.
That is nothing on you, and we will get the message. We will try to get the message through too, but know that is nothing that any of you can control, and you just keep on doing what you do best, because what the gods do is up to them. And
Yeah, Theros is a big place. Probably they're just like, been busy, going somewhere else.
That's what I'm thinking.
yeah.
It's not us. They're just busy. Yes. And you see a look of panic kind of flood his eyes and then quickly try and squash it on the inside.
So,
Hey,
go ahead.
You've been keeping this town really well in order, from what we can see.
Oh, thank you. It's hard work, but we do what we can.
Yeah, look, if you don't know where that person went, do you know anyone who is there a town gossip, someone who would have been paying attention to the comings and goings in the town? Noticed a short person just, I don't know, wandering in one day?
Actually, yes, you may want to go down to the Tipsy Tulip. It's the only inn in the town, but the furbolgs that run it are very amenable. They keep an eye on things and hear things.
Alrighty, Tipsy Tulip it is. Hey, thanks again, Tommy. And he just slams him on the back in like a nice friendly fashion.
He collapses on the floor.
Oh my gosh!
Sorry about
Are you
that.
okay? Oh my gosh!
It's okay. Sorry, I'm good.
Is-
Yeah. Walk it off. Sorry about that. Just trying to, little minotaurs. I don't know my own strength sometimes.
Indeed. And he's trying to save face and stand up straight, but it's just not happening at all.
It's okay.
You know what? This reminds me of something that my good friend would have said. I think I'll say it now as I have a quick drink. From Vampire 54. Oh, how I love the Guild Pact. Let me count the ways. 1,000, 1,000. I, Lucian Ladrian, in sound mind. This is it, guys. The deed to Innistrad. Toontown is saved. There are times when my brain goes very weird directions. All right.
Cheers.
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 Thanks for the toast, Vampire 54.
Yes, thank you.
To the Tipsy Tulip it is. Tomas, if you aren't feeling well or anything, I do specialize in healing words and rejuvenation, so please don't hesitate.
I appreciate it. No, it's fine.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Absolutely.
And are you staying at the Tipsy Tulip? I'll have this back to you.
Great.
Sure, we'll probably hang out there for a while at least.
Sounds good. So,
Off
the two of you head off to the Tipsy Tulip, or is there anything else you'd like to do in town?
Probably head that way, but watch around to see if we notice Dima or anyone watching us.
Okay, absolutely. As you move through the town, you see there's a smattering of people, but a lot of houses are just boarded up. Businesses have signs, that say so and so's curios, and it's completely shut up. And finally, you do get to one open establishment, the Tipsy Tulip.
Boy, it just seems like this town's seen better days.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's doing very well. Do you think that's because Afara's kind of MIA?
Yeah, I don't know. Theros, they're all about their gods and stuff. Back on Ravnica, we didn't care that much, but maybe just because we didn't have them.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, well, I guess we'll see what you can find out here.
It's worth a shot. I mean, one thing every copper knows is that everybody drinks and people talk when they're drunk, so maybe if anyone knows what's going on, it's someone at the bar.
All right, well, hopefully you can hold your liquor, because I sure can't.
Oh, yeah. I'm,
Well, that's right, you don't drink.
Yeah, well, it's no big thing. Now that I'm not around the other, Boros, I don't really gotta, pretend that I'm drinking fake stuff to keep my face. Yeah, but you wouldn't like drinking Astaroth. He's not fun.
That's A-okay. I'm sure we can get enough out of him in our own special ways.
Sure thing.
All right, let's go.
Okay. As you enter the Tipsy Tulip, it's very warm. It looks almost like a tea party on the inside. There are doilies and what have you on all the tables, teapots, all empty, of course, with cups stacked around them. A Furlog man with pink hair standing behind the bar. Another Furbog lady with green hair wrapped in buns goes about taking orders to people. Along the wall, you see pictures and different portraits of people in the town and a very ornate cuckoo clock. You do see a large portrait of the two owners embracing one another as taking center feature in the wall.
I got to admit, this is not the decor I was expecting.
Right there with you. Yeah, definitely. But it's lovely. Look how cute this is.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
The female Furbog comes over to you. Hi, take a seat anywhere. We've got plenty of tables.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Is there many people in here right now?
A smattering of people, maybe 3 people at most. And then, of course, the 2 workers.
Yeah. All right, probably sit next to some folks if it's like open seating.
Yeah, sure. You can sit down at their table. Like.
Astarock will be like, yeah, just gotta, pick the table that seems best. And he wants to kind of make a little lap around the place and just take a quick look at all the photos of people from the town and see if he recognizes the small human in any of them. Yeah.
Okay. Going around looking at all the photos on the wall. Give me an investigation check, please.
Investigation. Finding stuff out.
Are you good at investigation?
I'm okay at investigation.
As a cop, I would hope so.
I have it as a skill, but what I don't have is intelligence on my side.
Fighter's intelligence. That's what the Astarock has.
Look, I was a beat cop, and I was elevated because I happened to have fallen into the right crowd, which is you guys. So I got a 14 on that.
Okay. Looking through, you see the lady that you saw before that it was telling you no one had lived there. You see Tomas. You see some of the other people that you had visually seen in the town. And you do see Dima arm in arm with the 2 Furbogs in one picture. It looks like there's a banner that says grand opening behind it, and he's holding this cuckoo clock.
Hey, Tutru. Yeah, this is a really pretty picture over here.
Oh,
and he basically taps the picture with his horn. I can't get to one of my pictures without pulling my earbuds out.
Don't hurt yourself.
oh yeah, this is so lovely. It really is. The banner is so nice. What?
Yeah. Why don't we sit down here, right? Because this picture is so nice.
Yes. And she'll just awkwardly sit down, wide-eyed next to it. That is great.
Yep. Astarock also sits down at that table.
Okay. Within a few seconds, the green-haired Furbog comes over to you. What can I get you?
What do you offer?
We have some rose hip tea. Currently, we're doing tiny cucumber sandwiches.
Both of those. I'll take both of those.
Not a problem. We'll get that going for you right now.
I'll take the cucumber sandwiches too, but I'd like them in a quantity that makes it so even if the individual sandwiches are tiny, it overall creates a large portion.
Of course. A Minotaur stack will do that for you.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Oh, and I wanted to give you a compliment on how good this picture is here.
Oh, yeah, that was painted on our opening day.
Yeah, I see. It's you two, and who's your friend?
She looks over at the picture, pulls out a pair of glasses. I don't know.
Well,
Hey, Groth, do you know who this is? The pink-haired furbolg behind the bar looks over, comes to them. Let me see. No idea. Weird.
Well, I mean, the two of you were right there with him. And, you look pretty chummy.
I remember that day. I don't remember him.
Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, do you remember the opening day? The day that you started opening this place? You
Yeah,
took
of
this
course.
picture?
Well, someone painted it for us, but yeah.
Well, what would the date have been?
And they rattle off a date about 3 years ago.
Does the journal that we have, would that go back that far?
It does.
So I want to open up the journal and flip back to that day.
Okay, I'll go all the way through it. And you see that, Dima talks about spending the day with his two best friends, Groth and Fira, and that he had made them a cuckoo clock to commemorate the opening.
Hey, Groth, Dima.
Fira.
Sorry. Dima's the book. Look, do you remember where you got that cuckoo clock?
I remember it was a gift on opening day, but I don't remember from who. Sorry.
Because, and he wants to, Astrok's going to flip the book around and show them the entry. I found this from someone who meets the description of the little person there. And, it seems to line up with what's going on.
I don't know. I'm sorry. That's weird. They described the day to a T. All of those things happened.
Huh. You know what? I'm going to need some of that tea after all.
Absolutely. Fira smiles brightly, but tears are just running down her face.
Are you okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Why?
You seem to be crying awfully a lot to be okay. Are you
What?
tears of joy?
I don't remember crying.
I don't remember you crying.
It must be the dust in this place. It does need a good dusting. She takes a rag and dries her face. I'll get you that tea. And she heads off. Groth stands there for a minute watching her. Was there anything else you all needed?
Is that normal? Does she normally just cry?
No, but it's been a very busy day, so maybe something has gotten to her, and I'll talk to her.
Oh, okay. Well, we're actually looking for a friend. And we haven't had much luck finding him, so we were kind of hoping you might be able to give us more information. Mayhaps.
Is it the one in the picture that you're?
Maybe. Their name is Dima. I don't know if that rings a bell.
It does not. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, maybe if not, how has the town been lately? We met Tomas, and they seem to be not doing so well.
Tomas tries. He's getting up there in age, but he does what he can. The town's been booming. We've had so many new people move in.
Oh, really?
And that does not jive with what you've seen.
Yeah. Really? Could you tell me more about that? It looks like a lot of places have filled up.
Right? Like there's barely any space open in this town.
Well, wait, Tutor, Tutor, are you being clever here? Because it looked like a lot of places were closed, right?
Yeah, most absolutely.
Okay, I'm just gonna play along then. Yeah. Sure weren't a bunch of abandoned buildings nearby. Sure weren't that.
It's been great for the town. Praise Afara.
Praise Afara.
Afara. What were things difficult before that all happened?
Before what all happened? People moving into the town? I mean,
Yeah.
it's always good for the town when there's more people here. I mean, it's more commerce and does great for our shop.
Yeah, absolutely. I am curious. I wonder what caused such a big boom of people to flock to the town all of a sudden.
It's been a steady trickle. We've been growing for years now, so it's due.
Yep.
I mean, having a Temple of Afar here doesn't hurt either.
Oh yeah. The temple new? Is it the big tourist attraction pulling everybody in? Did you build the temple and then suddenly more people came?
More or less, yeah. I mean, it's the fountain that people are drawn to. I mean, it's a beautiful rendition of her. I mean, she hasn't inhabited it yet, but fingers crossed.
All right. Okay. Yeah, we might be getting something here. We'll have to go check that out at some point.
I would love to see it.
Yeah, would you like rooms for the night?
Sure. Yeah, we are waiting on a friend to get back to us with a painting they were doing.
Not a problem. And he charged you for rooms. It's a paltry amount, very fair. He goes on to tell you about his lavish breakfast that he always does for new guests.
All right. I mean, I like the sound of that.
I can't wait. I mean, already your accoutrements are so lovely, and the
Right? There isn't enough tea houses that also serve alcohol.
exactly that's what I've been telling Astaroth this whole time.
She has. She keeps being like, there should be more tea houses that also serve alcohol. And I go, I don't know if that's a thing that there needs to be more of. And she's like, no, I insist. I insist there should be more tea houses that also serve alcohol. And I said, what, just be normal tea houses? And she goes, no, there's enough of those. You need the alcohol ones. Ain't that right?
Couldn't have put it better myself.
Yes. Okay, Astaroth, I'm not really good with gossip. This is as far as I can get. So, like, if you have any other plans to get anything out of them,
I don't think there's anything to get out. It's like this person's been completely wiped out of their head. I'm starting to think, I don't know, maybe something similar has happened to us. I mean, they knew stuff about us. And they were in that picture. I mean, it was just a drawing, but I don't know.
What about the days that are missing? What about from the journal? Could we ask them about that? Maybe? Like, do they remember those days?
I mean, it's worth checking. We could, so let's, while they like get our tea and sandwiches and everything, can we just like read through a couple pages of the journal, especially around when this thing opened, and like see if we can find any more information about these two tea keepers?
Absolutely. These tea keepers, they're furlogs. They moved into the area. They made quick friends with Dima. He's a very warm and welcoming individual from what you can read. And he helped establish them in the town. He even talks about putting up a large amount of money that they needed to open the tea house.
No, that's interesting. Now there's money involved. Maybe these furbloods disappeared. This Dima person.
Maybe.
But I don't know. That kind of doesn't explain how they were talking. Why would they leave that picture up?
And the town isn't doing well.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
clearly a disconnect here.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to address that. We were lying about that, right?
Yes, we were lying, Teacher.
Great. Just making sure we're...
Astaroth. Oh, my gosh. What is
I know.
happening?
It's been a crazy day for me, too.
Who am I? Where are we?
Look, maybe we should just sleep on it. See what's going on tomorrow. They said they got a big breakfast going on.
Okay,
When,
yeah, let's just go to sleep.
When Tommy comes back with that picture, maybe we'll be able to, I don't know, jog something in their head.
Okay, yeah, let's just do that. If you end up reading any more of the journal tonight, maybe see if you find anything about Dima talking about when the Afara statue came in.
Sure, yeah. Hey, that's good thinking.
But yeah.
So yeah.
So, go on.
I guess after we eat, we would probably just like wait around for the night a little bit, probably like skim through the journal to see if it says anything specific about the Temple of Afara or the fountain to Afara.
Okay. It does talk about the temple and the fountain and it being built in the town and how everyone's very excited to have, the fountain here and the temple as well, because it's going to be good things for the town. You sit, hours pass, eating little sandwiches and drinking tea, and no sign of Tomas yet. Fira comes over to you holding a silver tray. And is there anything else I can get you all, or just another refill on tea? Maybe some more sandwiches? Maybe something a little stronger? It's getting kind of late.
Yeah, I know we talked about how great this place was. How did you all get the funding to put together a nice little place like this?
Oh, well, Groth and I used to be adventurers, and we came into a tidy sum that we've been holding on to open up our own tea house.
Oh yeah, you just like got it on your own through adventuring and stuff?
Oh, absolutely. When the adventure calls, you hit the road.
Sure.
We're familiar with that for sure.
When the feet want to wander.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tutaru, you see something in the reflection of the serving tray. Through the reflection, you see out the window into the street, and you see this large, pasty white creature on all fours. It's got a long neck, slant eyes, and just rows of flat teeth, but the mouth is huge. It would go to its ears if it had them. And you see it bend down, snap someone up in its mouth, and then continue walking. And no one does anything.
Oh my gosh! Did you just see that? The person just and teacher like gets up and like walks out to see if this creature is still there.
I'm
Go
coming.
There something just ate someone.
What? Something ate some? Oh my God! Where would it be? Where'd it go?
She's gonna look outside to see if it's still there.
All right, you're looking outside and you're looking for it, and you don't see it. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Come on, dice. Yeah. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, nice. You see this tail of a creature move down an alleyway. Do you give chase?
We do. Or
Yes.
I think Astaroth probably. Well, no, this is Tuturu's decision because I think she saw it, and I guess Astaroth
Tutoru would
has
totally
not seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tutoru totally would. It went that way, and she's gonna like have her malice at the ready probably for this.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
You got your malice out.
Astaroth follows, but first he grabs up his tea and he says a quick toast. He says, "From with wherewithal, Astaroth and Tuturu trying to get the tea shop to spill the tea."
Yes.
Pinky out.
Thanks with wherewithal. Clink. Glug, glug, glug. Delicious
So
tea.
All right. So you take off full tilt. Astaroth, you're following behind, tea in one hand, weapon in the other. Perfect.
And Tutoru during this will whisper hurriedly and panically what she just saw to Astaroth.
All right, you lead the way. I ain't spotted the thing.
All right. As you circle the corner of where this thing is, immediately a cat leaps out, hisses at you, and runs away.
Yeah.
No!
And nothing else is in the alley. What are you doing in the alley?
She's immediately like, she's like a little phased by the cat, but she also like, she's had her fair way around things, so she's gonna continue to look around to see for like any other type of like, is this actually a dead end?
It's not a dead end, but the other exit is a good 60 feet away. So by the time you got here, this thing wasn't moving fast enough to have cleared it yet.
And can I see all the way down it?
You can see all the way down it, yes.
So there's no chance you just saw that cat and thought you saw something different, is there?
No way. That was not a cat. The teeth, the pasty white giant creature. It ate a humanoid thing. Like, there's no way.
Huh. Well, we might as well look around, see if there's any sign of whatever happened.
Yeah. She's gonna walk down the alley.
Okay.
Is there any other direction to go, or it's just the alley?
Just a straight alley, straight shot.
She's gonna look around the walls probably to see if the walls are like, or if there's like a hidden passage maybe.
Wonderful. Okay, you're investigating the walls, looking for any secret passages or anything.
Perceptively doing it.
Perceptively, of course.
Nice.
Do Luxodons have any bonus to spotting anything hidden or like, stone cutting or anything like that?
Luxodons have amazing sense of smell.
Ooh, all right.
If that helps you. I have a very keen
Well,
sense
it might
of
help
smell.
you.
Yay.
So looking around, you don't find any secret passages or secret ways, but you do smell decay. And it's not coming from one point in the town. It's, now that you're aware of it, it's coming from all around you.
Oh gosh. So yeah, she's gonna. Oh my Matsalesnia. Oh. Astaroth. It smells like death. But not just like from it, like any place in particular, like everywhere smells like death.
All right. From now on, we're on constant vigilance mode, okay? No more sitting down, no more having tea. We have got to find what is going on here. Something is messing this town up.
Something's not right.
I said we go check out that fountain. Sounds like things changed when that fountain showed up. Or the temple. Might as well see if that's the source of what's going on.
Okay.
Okay. So you head off to the fountain or to the temple?
I say let's check the fountain first. Because it's like we've already seen it in the middle of the town.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to like go up to it and kind of examine it and see if there's anything like strange about it.
Okay. You go up and give the fountain a once over. And I mean, it looks like a fountain. You see she's got the jug on her shoulder pouring out the water, and touch the water. It's real and clean.
I'd taste a little bit of it.
It doesn't taste great, but it doesn't taste bad either.
Oh, really? How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel fine. I mean, I don't know, and a little peckish, but those cucumber sandwiches would, they just weren't as substantial as I kind of hoped they would be. Maybe we got to check out the temple. Apparently, when that temple came up, it's when everything started changing.
Yeah. We should definitely check out the temple.
What is it you two are looking for? You hear the old lady from before call out to you.
Oh, well, we're just looking for. She kind of looks at Astaroth like,
You look like you've been here a long time. How long have all these houses been empty?
Empty? What are you talking about?
Look, and I point at one of the empty houses or businesses.
It looks fine to me. What do you mean empty?
Well, is there anybody in there? The place is basically boarded up.
Yeah, of course people are in there. How can they run a business if it's boarded up? Astaroth, your eye catches a locket that has fallen open around her neck. On one side is a picture of her. On the other side is a picture of Dima.
Hey, that's a nice little necklace you got there.
Oh, thank you. She grabs it and closes it.
Hey, who was that on the other side? It must be someone who matters pretty deeply to you.
She takes a look at it. I've never seen this before. I thought it was empty. Did you do? Are you a wizard? Did you do this?
Nah, I don't touch magic. I can't handle this stuff. It's confusing and you know. Look,
Well, who put this in my locket? That's just been around my neck.
Maybe it's a gift from Farah.
She seems very perplexed by what you're saying. And she is openly crying now.
are you okay?
Yes, why?
You're crying. We've seen this before. There's something going on. Just I don't know if this is happening and we're forgetting what's happening or.
Oh, I'm sorry. And she looks like she's growing weaker by the moment.
All right. Why don't you have a seat somewhere? Look, can you tell me what your name is? Can you tell me just anything about this town? Who do you think you would put in your locket if you could put anybody who was important in your life in a locket?
My husband, a child.
Are you married? Are you married?
I was.
Tell me about your husband.
And she proceeds to tell you about a very dashing gentleman that was a hunter that, unfortunately did not return from a hunt.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, what about children? You have any children?
No. No kids.
Look, yeah, we are not from around here, so traditions are a little different. But I'm just gonna say that's a weird set of emotions to react with to that question.
What do you mean?
Because you're sobbing and laughing at the same time. Isn't that what you're seeing through?
That is my sobbing.
It was like a throes of sob. Yes. And Tutor was gonna kind of go around to kind of support her, pat her on the back, and also gonna kind of slight of smell her.
Okay, she smells exactly like Dima's place.
She's gonna lean over. It smells like Dima.
Hey, ma'am, why don't we show you to you? Why don't we get you home? Huh? You seem a little tired. Could you point us to where you live?
Of course. And then she points down the road, next door to where Dima lived.
So let's head to her house.
Okay. Yeah.
She opens the door and lets you in, and you see pictures that a kid would have drawn, attached to or hung up with pride in the house. She comes in. Would you like something to drink? Water or think I have some ale in the back?
I'm good. We just came from the Tipsy Tulip, and they sure did take care of us.
Yeah, they had some tiny cucumber sandwiches. Nice pictures you have all over here. Let me guess, you don't remember where they came from, right?
She slowly looks over. I don't know. They say, "Love you, Mom." Heart, Dima.
All right. Okay. I don't know what's going on in this town, but it seems like no one remembers this Dima person. They're just gone. It's like they're wiped from everybody's memories, and then stuff is wiped out of the journal. Stuff is people are reacting oddly. All this stuff.
Yeah, it's really, really weird.
Slowly, you're putting things together, and you remember a phrase from the letter that was given to you. It said, "Time reveals all." For some reason, that's kind of sticking in your craw, but you're not sure why.
Time reveals all. Huh.
What did you say?
Hey, remember that the line at the end of that letter, time reveals all. You know?
Yeah. Time reveals all. It's like
Are there any, like, I guess I don't know if clocks would necessarily be a thing or whatever,
I mean,
but
you do remember a clock back in the Tipsy Tulip.
yeah.
oh, that's right.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah, we just kind of skipped over that clock connection thing there.
I'm gonna
Hey.
roll to see if Tutoru would put that together.
Okay.
Odd or even?
Odd.
Well, I got a dirty 20, and so that is not odd. So she does not remember that. She's like, I don't know, like maybe like if we just stick with this, it'll eventually come together.
Wait a minute. There aren't many clocks around here. But the halfling, sorry, he don't know what halfling be. But this Dima person was in the picture with that clock back at the Tipsy place.
Wait, are you saying you think it's like has something to do with the clock?
Maybe there's some sort of message hidden in the clock.
Yeah, that could make sense.
Look, it seems like that whatever this person did, whatever Dima did in this town, is still here, right? Because there's the paintings, there's all these love mom little notes, things like that. So they're still around. So even if Dima has been disappeared from everybody's brain, then I don't know. They could have left something for us to find.
All right, hey, you know what? It's better than nothing. Let's go check it out.
Yeah. All right. And maybe see if they have some more of those sandwiches.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. You take off back to the Tipsy Tulip. When you arrive, it's almost 9 o'clock as you enter. It's 9, and normally you'd hear the cuckoo clock chime at the hour, but this time it doesn't. It looks like it's going to, and it bangs against the door and then retracts. Bangs against the door and retracts.
The darn thing's broken. Astaroth is gonna reach up and kind of knock on the little door that the cuckoo bird is supposed to come out of.
Okay, you wrap it. Give me a strength saving throw. If you fail it, you put a little too much oomph into it.
Break it.
All right. Well, I got a 12, which is a 21.
Perfect. You gently tack, and the door pops open, and a little cuckoo bird comes out with a piece of paper in its mouth.
Astaroth, you did it!
Hey, I fixed it.
No, there's a paper in its mouth. You figured it out.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I thought I did. Yep, I found the paper, and I pull it out and hand it to Tutoru.
Okay, Tutoru, do you unfold it and look at it?
Yes.
It is a blank paper with a bunch of holes in it. Looks like Swiss cheese, the paper.
What does this mean? Do you speak dotted holes, Astaroth, by any chance?
I don't know. It's like a little tricky. Is there a pattern to it?
What if it has something to do with the blank pages in the journal? Or is just in the journal in general? I don't know.
Yeah, or the journal, the blank pages, or the letter. Something like that. Well, I mean, we might as well try. So, I guess let's open up the Well, I guess let's both open up the journal and kind of like try it on like a couple pages and see if it like has any effect or if it like circles any particular like letters or words.
Okay. Trying random pages from the journal, even blank pages. It's gibberish. Nothing really is making sense. To fly you. I don't know what that means, but you know.
To fly you. That's kind of close to tutoru. Maybe this is what we're looking for after all. Oh, but it does say. So. Yeah, fly in the middle seems unrelated.
Maybe I mean, it's because I can fly.
And I don't like flying. Huh.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that doesn't have anything to do with the journal itself.
Well, so let's try it on the letter. See if it lines up with anything.
Okay. You try it on the letter, and it spells out 2 words. False Hydra.
False Hydra.
Give me a nature check for either of you.
I think Tutoru is going to have me beat on this one pretty hard.
We'll see if the dice are on my side tonight. All right, let's see. All right, we have plenty of rerolls tonight, so I'm going to use one.
Cool.
Because I only rolled a 9. Thank you for the rerolls, everyone.
Yeah, yes, thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Woo, I got a 13 this time. 13 plus 3, so that is a 16.
16. You remember reading about a false Hydra. Essentially, they burrow into towns and eat people.
Oh my.
And they sing. When they sing, they remove the memory of that person from everyone around them. And the only time it's not singing is when it eats.
Oh no. Oh, Asteroid, I figured it out.
What? What's going on?
It's a false Hydra. I read it when we were visiting Velma, but with her new name. Keys, what's her new name now?
Kia, right?
Yeah, Kia. Yes, Kia. I did it when we were there reading our books, and the false Hydra. And then I relay all that information.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then we just gotta find this thing and deal with it.
Yeah, but that means Dima's dead.
Or maybe all the people are waiting in the Hydra's stomach, being all, you know, sitting there like in that one story where the little Rakdos boy got, you know, eaten up.
She pats Astaroth on the shoulder. I appreciate what you're doing, but I know we have to go deal with it. Thank you, though.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, you know, don't give up hope.
I won't. But let's kick this thing's butt. Many butts. I don't know. How many butts does a Hydra have? Is it just one?
Could be.
Okay.
Maybe. It's just that no one's ever cut off a Hydra's butt. And if they did, it would turn into 2 butts. And then you'd cut those butts off and they'd have just more and more butts, you know, ongoing.
Okay.
All right. You're right. We'll figure that out when we find it.
Oh, I said it again. Let's go.
Wait.
Okay.
Where?
That's a good point. I don't know where.
Well, I mean, it seems like these troubles have all kind of started around the Temple of Afara. Maybe that's the place to search.
That's a good point. Okay. Let's check out there. And she's going to try to remember if, like, when she read about this, do they have a place of dwelling they do like to go? It's just underground. That's all she knows.
Deep underground, yes. Usually under a large city. As you step outside, looking around, you see bits of people all over the town that you never saw before. Now that you're aware of the false Hydra.
Oh my. Oh.
Give me a wisdom saving throw. Both of you.
I got
19.
a 13.
Astaroth, you have no idea why you're outside. The town looks normal, and you've completely forgotten about the false Hydra.
All right. Well, maybe we can go ask that lady if anything's ringing a bell with her. Geez, it seems like we were kind of maybe on a good track there.
What? No. We're going to the temple to deal with the false Hydra.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down to check out the temple. Seems like there's stuff going on there, but what?
Are you okay?
I feel okay.
Tutaru, you know that the song of the false Hydra can, again, wipe people's memories again.
That's right, the song of the Hydra. Oh my gosh.
And you hear it singing now.
Tuturu's gonna like curl up her ears as much as she can to try to block it out. Astaroth, I think I have a lead, okay? So if you can just trust me, I think I may know what's happening.
Yeah. No, I mean, lead the way.
Okay. And maybe plug your ears?
I mean, if you say so.
Ear holes? How does that work?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I get ears. Come on.
Yeah, horsey ears.
Oh, that's right. They are.
yours.
They're cute little fluffy ears. Okay. Yeah. We've known each other forever. All right. Let's
Just
go.
because they're a lot smaller than yours don't mean I ain't got ears. That's
I'm
what
sorry.
I'm saying.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. Yeah. And, yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
All right, so-
Astaroth will just take some like lint out of his pockets or whatever and sort of ball it into little
Perfect.
things and pop it into his ears.
Okay, roll for lint.
Roll for lint.
I'm kidding. Yeah, you got lint. You can plug in your ears, no problem. You do so. Unfortunately, do you know how to read lips?
I have no idea. No.
Then you're not going to be able to understand Tutaru if she says anything.
Yes, I will just follow her.
No.
Okay. Tutaru, how are you handling your ears, or are you just leaving them as is?
I mean, I'm going to just like collapse them in. Because
Okay,
my
you
ears, I have full
roll
control
and
of
tuck.
them.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can kind of, like a fruit roll up. They're going to, in they go.
Okay.
I thought about muting Ashland's window, but I was like, you know what? I think that might be too difficult to work through.
Too deep in the weeds, yeah.
Oh my god, was he pantomiming the whole time?
Yeah, method role playing.
I mean, any other night, maybe. All right. So now that you've got your ears plugged, the siren song loses its effect on you, and you now see the devastation done to this town.
Oh, this must be terrifying.
It's almost like bodies appearing out of nowhere. You're like, oh, crap.
Oh! Tutaru, do you see all these bodies? All these bodies appearing.
Yeah.
There's bodies all over the town, Tutaru.
Yes. Why are you yelling?
Tutaru, there's bodies all over. You can see them too, right? All right.
Yes.
I think you can see them.
Yes. Yes. Oh, how are we going to do this? It's okay. Just keep going forward for now. What could possibly go wrong with this?
I love it. So, leading forward, you head back towards the fountain, towards the temple, and the fountain isn't there anymore. Part of the fountain is. The entire statue is gone, though. Looks like something has knocked it over. And people are just walking over it, not acknowledging it, putting their hands in the water that isn't there and splashing, filling up their gourds. No one sees that the statue is destroyed. And there's a large hole there now.
I'm going to peek in that hole.
You peek into the hole and you see blackness. I don't know if you have any dark vision, but it looks like it descends downwards, twisting beneath the ground.
Tutaru, something knocked over the statue. Astaroth yells.
People are giving you like, statue, this guy.
take your...
Wisdom saving throw, please.
That's a 13 again.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, you have no idea why you're here. You were just in the tea house. You see the statue. Everything's
Tutu,
fine.
we already checked out the statue. I don't know why you're fixating on the same thing. If we just keep coming back and paying attention to this place, like...
Gosh. Okay, Astarock, I need you to believe me. You are under a Hydra's enchantment song thing.
All right.
And there is no statue here.
There's no...
Do
Are
not...
we doing that thing we were doing to the people before where you say something that's not true, but...
No. There is no statue here. Like, watch. And she's going to take, is there a piece of stone or rubble nearby?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's going to pick up a stone block thing, and she is going to hold it over the hole and drop it.
Okay. For you, it tumbles down the hole, and continues to roll. For Astarock, huge splash.
Yeah. No, that... You got it. There's definitely no statue here. He turns and like mimes to the people. This ain't a statue. No way. All right, I'm with you, Tuturu. Just, eventually please explain whatever the goal of this is.
Okay, well, I don't even know if you don't see it. Can you stick your hand down the hole?
Yeah, I'll stick my hand down the hole. And I'm just going to reach out and touch the statue.
Yeah, it feels solid to you.
Yep. Right on down the hole here. Now it may look like my hand is touching this statue, but it ain't. It's a big old hole. Yep. Ain't that right, Tuturu?
While he's saying that, all right, I need you to trust me. I'm going to close your ears real quick. And I'm just going to, hold his ears down.
You hold his ears down, and the statue disappears before your eyes. You're like, wait, weren't we chasing the false Hydra? What are we doing here? Why aren't we going down the hole?
Tuturu, we've got to find the false Hydra. Why are we going down the hole?
Oh my gosh, I need you, Astarock. What is happening? How can I help you? Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, I'm a cleric. Why am I freaking out right now? All right, well, I'm holding his ears. I'm going to be like, Astarock, you can do this, okay? I believe in you. You are a Wojak of the Boros Legion. You've got this. I'm going to cast guidance on this Minotaur as I release his ears.
Okay.
The whole time I'm like, what? What are you saying?
Don't worry about it, okay?
What, Tuturu? I don't have your hearing.
I just said you're a great Wojak.
All right. Should I take another wisdom save?
If she's removed her hands, then yes.
All right. It is a 9, but I can add a D4, which can give me a maximum of exactly 13.
Oh my god!
What I failed on last time. And what do you know? That's a 13 again.
I mean, do you have any rerolls?
Yes, I do. Wait, do we have any rerolls left? Hey, we do have a reroll. I'm going to use it.
Okay.
If not, I can try to, dispel magic.
I'm going to use this reroll, and it's going to be great. That's a 4.
So if y'all want to donate for rerolls, that'd be really appreciated.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Tell me what's the plan, Tuturu.
Okay, we are going down the hole.
Sure.
Yes, we.
How am I going to go down a non-existent hole? I don't know how to continue playing along.
Like this, Astarock. And she's going to grab a hold of him and jump down the hole.
Okay. You, Astarock, you're prepared to get wet, and you don't. You find yourself at the bottom of a hole.
What? What?
And she'll open her ears to like glide down.
Okay, wisdom saving throw.
Hmm. 16.
Okay, good.
Hey.
I was like, oh my gosh.
You're able to, you're good.
Okay.
So give me an intelligence saving throw, either of you. Both of you. Both.
I am
All
not
right.
intelligent.
I'm not saving today, so I got a 3.
Then spend.
Just,
Spend as you will.
A solid 3 on that one.
I got an 11.
Perfect.
That's above 10.
That is. Tutru, you remember being able to see this creature in the reflection of the serving
Yes.
tray. That is the only time you're able to have seen it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. So, do you continue down the hole?
You betcha.
Perfect.
So what do I think I'm seeing here?
Here, you're seeing a hole. Looks like someone has dug down like a mole, dug a slant hole into the ground, and it looks like it's winding ever deeper.
Okay, so Astaroth's just gonna keep following Tuturu however he can, because it seems like she has a better idea of what's happening here.
Okay. Do either of you have any dark vision or anything of that nature?
That is what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if Tuturu does.
I don't, but I think I have like a torch in my inventory.
Yeah, I have a
Perfect.
candle. Yeah. So
I do. I have a torch and tinderbox. So Astaroth will pull out of his satchel that he has, even though I don't talk about it all that often, and take out a torch and light it up.
Okay. You light up a torch. It illuminates out about 30 feet. And the area is very narrow. It's about 15 feet across, 15 feet high, but it is constantly sloping down and twisting. What is the
Alright.
marching order for this?
I'll be leading the way, probably.
Okay.
Astaroth
And
follows very closely behind.
Understood. All right. As you continue marching downwards, with each step through, you see bones and the remains of people. Astaroth, it's just dirt. Maybe some stones. You see no bones.
So what's the deal with this hole? Why are we down here? And how did we get here?
Tuturu's trying to be very patient. I would think actually Tuturu in this moment is pretty patient because she understands that Astaroth is not able to help himself. So she's just patiently re-explaining everything again for probably the 7th time.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're actually stepping over like bodies and ribs and like a lot of bones of like dead people
And so when Tuturu says this stuff, does it like flow out of his brain like water, or does he just not believe it?
It's kind of, you don't believe it, but I will let you make another wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Now that she's explained it again.
One of these days, I'm going to wisdom save. And that might be today. That's an 18.
All right. As she explains it, things begin to fill in your vision, and it's almost as if they popped into existence. You see the remains here.
You
You remember why you're here, you remember what you're doing, and you remember your mission.
Tuturu, why didn't you tell me there were so many bodies around? I'm just kidding. I remember that you told me a bunch of times.
no.
But I can see them now.
Good, because where we're going, there's probably going to be a lot more.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's be careful. This false Hydra thing could be around any corner.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's what I saw earlier when I ran out of the tea shop, but I don't know. That could have been another weird mind trick. I don't know.
Astaroth, as you're talking to Tuturu, from the dirt, you see in the wall behind her, you see a face slowly begin to emerge. Slit noses, giant closed lips, white teeth barely protruding beneath them, slant eyes.
Did it look a little bit like that? And he points to the thing.
Is it behind me?
It is behind you.
Just gonna slowly turn around. Oh yeah.
Slowly you turn around, its eyes open wide, and it begins to sing. Wisdom saving throws.
Ah!
Wait, Tutor, you still have your ears tucked, right?
No, I flew down.
Okay.
Oh
I
my!
got an 18 on that one.
Glad you did.
Astrock, you're good.
I got a 2. We're out. We're out of saving throws, aren't we? Or rerolls.
We are, to my knowledge.
Yay!
So, Astrock hears the thing start singing, and he grabs his axe and goes, "Yeah, I've heard this one before." And then I just want to slam my axe down on the thing's face.
Wonderful. It's stuck into the wall, so you have advantage on this roll. Go ahead and roll that.
Oh, yeah. That I will take. So this is my great axe. So
It's a pretty good axe.
that is 22 on the first die and a 17 on the second die. Does a 22 hit?
22 does hit.
Oh boy. That's always good to know. So that will do 16 damage.
Ooh.
That's 1d12 plus 6.
Okay. Oof. You smack it in its face, and its singing sputters, stops. Tutor, you're able to see it as its face goes back into the dirt.
Well, that thing sure is ugly.
How are we supposed to find this thing if it can move through the dirt? Oh my gosh! Tutor's gonna cast Thaumaturgy and make it feel like the ground is earthquaking.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna scare this sucker out.
Okay, let's see. Is there any save for thaumaturgy? Let's look it up.
It's just like a entertainment spell. Oh wait, maybe there is. Let's see. You manifest a minor wonder, a sign of supernatural power within range. You create one of the following magical effects. And this one is you cause harmless tremors in the ground for 1 minute.
Okay. The ground is shaking. You see it actually sifting a little bit, and you can see this figure slithering across the floor, its white spine peeking up, almost like Jaws, before it descends.
So, do we have time to try and like make another attack on that?
Absolutely. You see that spine, you can jump on that.
Astaroth goes, "There it is!" And he runs, and he immediately gets down into like his bull rush pose, leaps forward towards it, and then just slams his axe into the ground.
All right. Give me that attack.
Boom. It is a 14. Does that hit?
14 hits, but unfortunately does no damage.
All right.
You feel you hit the rigid spine, and it doesn't look like it's really piercing it.
All right. We can't let this thing get away. Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, absolutely. How do we go deeper?
Yeah, maybe we should. It's got to have, I don't know. Let's go in the direction that it was going.
Yeah.
Okay. So you both are going to try and take it on your own. Perfect.
That's always a good question.
Usually it works out for us.
Usually. Give me perception checks, the both of you.
Yeah, I can do that.
I got an 18.
Can I smell it? Does it have a different smell?
It does not have a different smell. And just actually, you know what? I'll say yes, it does. It smells of decay.
Okay. I roll a 17.
Okay. You both have your eyes peeled and head on a swivel. You're ready for something to happen. And from the wall emerges the head. Neither of you see it. And you hear the singing begin again.
Ah!
Wait, neither of us see it?
No. Wisdom saving throw.
Ah!
I got a 22 on the roll.
Damn.
Nice. Oh, no! Oh, I got a 5 this time.
Woo! I got 25.
Okay, Tutor, you're still in it.
All right. So Tutor is going to see it this time.
Mhm.
She's going to be like, not today, false Hydra thingy. And she's going to cast. What can she cast? It's a Hydra, so she knows it's not a humanoid. Can she command it? A creature you can see within range. The target must
silence. I mean, we wouldn't be able to
Oh.
talk, but
Right, but we couldn't hear anything. That's a good question. I don't think I have that prepared.
You don't
Nope.
roll a d20. We'll say 1 to 5. You have it prepared. 6 and up, you
okay.
don't.
nice. I like that.
I like that. I got a 19.
What? You roll well on this one.
I
Come on.
know. Come on, Dice. So I do have it prepared?
Do not.
No, it was 1 to 5.
my
you know.
gosh. Of
The
course.
one time you need to roll low, you know?
That's okay. I can cast command.
Okay.
Commands of their effects. It must succeed a wisdom saving throw. Although I feel like it's kind of high whiz if we're doing wisdom checks this whole time. But I wouldn't know that as too true. So hold person is for a humanoid. It is not a humanoid. Okay. Yeah, she's just gonna cast command.
Okay.
And
Well, so command doesn't work if it doesn't understand our language, though, right? Do you think it understands English? Do we have any reason to, or not English, Ravnican Common Therosian or whatever?
Yeah. I mean,
it
it's
might.
worth a shot.
the spell has no effect if the target is undead, if it doesn't understand your language, or your command is directly harmful. Does this false? I've seen it. Does it look undead?
No, it is not undead.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, I think it's worth a shot then.
Okay. Yeah, because I feel like it's like altering the memories of things and it's able to sing. All right, yeah. So she's gonna cast command and she's gonna say. Okay, well, I thought that just cast it. Yeah, she's gonna cast command and she's gonna say grovel. Yeah, she's gonna say. Oh, it's only one word. Okay, I was gonna say shut your mouth, but she can't do that. So I will say.
Quiet?
Yeah, quiet.
Okay.
She's like, oh, quiet.
What's the save on that? It's a wisdom save, but what's the
Wisdom save?
14, 15?
16.
It got a 15. So it did not pass its save.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And for quiet, I'm actually going for like grovel.
Also, thanks for the raid, Eviscerate and CFT RPG.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody.
Hey, welcome.
Yeah. So quiet. So yeah, it needs to keep its mouth shut.
Okay. Its lips tighten over its teeth. Astrok, it's no longer having an effect on you. You can see this creature now.
Astrog goes, I said I'd heard that one. And I'm just going to rush it and just take as many attacks as I can get on it.
Get it.
All right. So I just accidentally moved away from my character sheet.
Who needs that?
So, so normally when I take an attack, I can take 2 attacks in a thing. Can I get 2 in?
Do it. Have at it.
Hell yeah. All right. So the first attack is an 18.
Hits.
Oh boy. So he slams it into it and it does 16 damage. So Astaroth just like actually jams it with the butt of his great axe, and then like kind of follows up and smashes it with the big antlered horns of his very ornate and natural looking great axe.
I love it. Yeah, that's great.
And then he's going to follow up with a second attack and just be like, yep, just go for it. Let's see. That is a 23. I assume that hits.
That hits.
Nice.
Because
Let
the
me know
other
if you
one
ever
hit.
roll a nat 20, please, and thank you.
Yeah, no, quite. All of these have been dirty over 20 so far. I have a +9 on my attacks, so I am good at doing that. Ooh, but that's a 12 on the damage for 18 damage.
Ooh, boy.
So Astaroth like jams his foot onto the thing, pulls the axe out of the first part, and then kind of flips it around. And this is like a great axe, so this is a big thing to be flinging around, but he just goes boom, brings it down and smashes it into the Hydra again.
Perfect. You hit it. I mean, you really do some damage onto it. So much so the head pops off and rolls onto the ground. Only thing left is a stump.
Hey, I think I got it.
Slowly the stump begins to heal and splits.
Oh yeah.
No.
That's how these work. Forgot I was supposed to go for the butt.
But it's supposed to be a fake Hydra, right? Like.
It now has two heads. Both of them are going to snap at each of you. So let's go ahead and make that attack. There is a thing for biting people. There it is. Okay. All right, first one. Oh, nat 1. So
Hey.
No.
big whiff. Tutaru.
I have an
I
armor
agree.
class of 17.
Okay. And the second one is going for you, Astaroth. I'm going to change out these dice. These are terrible dice. Unless you want to give me some rerolls, folks, that would really be. I'm just
Or
saying,
you can give them to us. We could use some.
Yeah, you got enough rerolls. You use the other two. I mean. So yeah, both attacks, maybe because they're newly formed, they're uncoordinated. They bonk off of each other, snapping at you, but you're able to nimbly dodge and jump over them. It is your turn. What
Two
would you
heads
both
ain't
like to
better
do?
than one today.
So, Astaroth, what would you like to do?
Astaroth's going to do what Astaroth does best and continue to hit things with his axe.
Good idea. I love it.
And he's going to go for the butt.
Its butt's still in the wall, so unless you're going to
Oh,
grab it and pull it
right.
out.
Then he's going to go for what? Although that's kind of fun. Yeah, actually, here's what Astaroth's going to do. Instead of just going for the attack, Astaroth's going to wrap his arms around the like two necks of the thing.
Ooh.
And push on the wall and try and pull the thing out of the wall. And yell, Tutaru, get its butt.
I love it. All right, give me strength save. This is going to be contested. I'm going to go ahead and roll for them and give you my score, and that's the number you're going to have to beat.
All right.
Oh, biscuits and gravy. 23.
Oh.
23. All right. I got a 19, but I'm going to re-roll it with my with one of our re-rolls.
Our
Yeah.
final reroll.
Doesn't have to be, but yeah.
Yes.
Ah, damn. I rolled an 18 on the dice, which is a 27.
I was about to say.
This thing is kicking and trying to keep itself in the wall, and you manage to drag it out slowly, bit by bit. It's now fully unveiled, and this thing is just, it looks exactly like you saw it previously, pale, sickly, and just disgusting. Tutaru, what would you like to do?
All right. This is your last chance to just stop all this, or I'm gonna kick your butt.
Just
Literally.
hit it, Tutaru,
Give
please.
me an intimidation check, Tutaru.
All right, I will. It's a 5.
Tell you what, if you'd like to try again with diplomacy, I'd allow that. Because it doesn't
Ooh.
feel like you'd be scary. Maybe you're
Yeah.
like trying to appeal to it.
I am. I'm trying to persuade it.
No, persuade. Sorry. Wrong
No,
system.
you're good.
We do have leverage over it at the moment.
That's a natural 20 with +7.
Hey!
What?
27.
But we need to feed. You hear it whisper.
Yeah, but what do you need to feed on? Do you have to feed on humans? Or this town? Like, can you not feed on, like, other things?
We can, but food is not plentiful, as is the cities.
Okay, but that's like a choice you're making.
If you could find us a new home, we would gladly go there.
Okay, deal, but you gotta stop singing, because we can't do that if you're singing.
Whoa,
And, like...
Wait a minute. So wait, what do you eat most of the time? Like, if we find you a new home, you're just gonna eat all the people there?
That is the plan.
Wait, what do you eat?
I mean,
You
look,
and
Tutoru,
meat.
I'm
Meat?
pretty.
We need meats.
Does it have to be fresh?
Yes.
Okay.
Warm.
Why don't you live in an ocean?
We can't swim.
Hey, Tutoru, I really do appreciate your attempt at diplomatizing in this thing, but this did eat like most of the people in this town. I'm just saying.
We have not absorbed them yet.
Huh?
Wait, so Jima's still alive?
For now, we may need to absorb him to heal from what you've done to us.
Okay, where do we know of where they can get meat? Wait, do you absorb like souls or you just need meat?
Just meat.
Goodness gracious.
Look,
2 vegetarians here. What are we gonna do?
I mean, I hate to say it, but you know my vote.
Yeah, but like, how would we find Dima in them?
I mean, maybe if we get rid of it now, we can cut it open before it absorbs them, or find it back in the caverns.
Or we could just eat this one.
See, this doesn't seem like you're forward in your case for continuing to be alive with the things that you're saying here, False Hydra. Look, if you want to stay alive, you got to work with us.
Give me either intimidation or diplomacy, whichever's. Persuasion, whichever's better for you.
Okay. I think it's probably going to be intimidation for me.
Yeah.
Which I think also like works with the fact that I, have my big beefy minotaur arms like wrapped around its 2 necks.
I agree.
So I rolled only a 5. Do we have any rerolls left? Dom, voice of God?
Nope, doesn't look like we do.
Oh, that's it.
Well, listen. Well, you can respond to that check if you want, but how do we know you're going to keep your end of the bargain if we do find you a place?
What? It's not even making a bargain, Tutoru. It just keeps saying it's going to keep eating people.
Here. And he begins to kind of vibrate and herk and jerk, and out comes Dima from one of the mouths.
Okay.
We will give you till the next full moon to find us a home, or we will continue eating. Deal?
Right. Let's do it this way. We take a month. We find you a home. And if we don't, we come back here and we deal with you my way.
Sounds lovely.
And you can't eat anyone in the meantime.
Of course.
And you can't absorb anyone you currently have.
That is more challenging. Fine. And it begins to jerk, and just people begin to kind of pour out of this being.
It's really gross.
Yep. They're all covered in saliva and very confused.
We're going to draw a picture of everybody in this town. And if when we come back here, we don't remember any of them, well, there's gonna be some splaining to do.
Yes, like how you've brought me a new buffet.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see.
We shall.
We have a friend who can make deliveries from time to time, and we might help make some arrangements for some food. Doesn't have to be humanoid, right? As long as it's meat.
No, just meats. We have a bargain.
And with that, Astaroth lets his necks go.
Like rolling up garden hoses, they whip around and fly into the wall, burying themselves deep, deep. Again, you hear the voice whisper in your ear, 1 month, the next full moon will meet again. And it's gone.
I gotta say, Tutaru, you're a better person than I am sometimes.
Well, I just wanted to make sure we could save you. No, you're a good person too. I just wanted to make sure if there was a chance at getting Dima back and everyone else, we could.
You're right. You did it. You got everyone in town safe. Who knows what would have happened if I had just hacked into that thing.
Hey, we did it because it took both of us. You let the Hydra go. Yeah. Let's get these people de-slimed and see what's going on.
Yeah, you lead them out. People are now becoming aware of their surroundings. The spell of the false Hydra has been lifted, and people are freaking out, man. But, you know, you've saved everyone that has gone missing. They are not complete people, but, you know, they are still people. So, and that is where we end it. Good job, you two.
Oh, yeah.
Do we remember Dima now?
Yeah, everyone. You remember Dima. You remember the adventures you went on with them. Everything.
Oh, yeah.
You look at the journal. It's all filled in now.
Yeah, there was that time when we went to that place we thought was an island, but was a big turtle. Remember that?
Oh, my gosh, yes.
And Dima was like, I don't think we're in Akros anymore. Dima.
Oh, yeah, Dima.
Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Let's go have some cucumber sandwiches.
Cucumber sandwiches.
And your mom really misses you. You should really go talk to her.
Oh, crap, yeah. He's going to go do that. And that's
all right.
The end of the game. Thank you,
Oh, thank you. That was fun.
Well, thank you for guest DMing today. That was fun. It was a great little look into the adventures of Astaroth and Tutaru as they wander around Theros doing whatever it is that they do. Well, thank you everybody in chat for watching today. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and hopefully next week we will be back with our regularly scheduled Dice Ex Machina, and we can see what's happening to all that other party of Therosians who are a little more native to the plane. And we hope that you have enjoyed the show. I guess we'll tell you where we can find ourselves. I'll just start with me. I'm Jordan. You can find me on Twitter at Jordan Pigeon, and that's mostly it. I work at the Command Zone, so if you watch their stuff, I sometimes influence it in various ways. And I write the ads for that. So check that out.
Yeah, and I'm Ashlyn Rose. You can find me on Twitter at Ashlyn Rose. You can find me on Instagram as Rar. It's Ashlyn. And there's more Enchantimals episodes coming out now. I forgot to mention that big VO surprise, which I think I may have mentioned on another episode, but that's what I'm doing. I am the voice of Mara Mermaid, and it's a lot of fun. It's for children. Of course, it's a children's show, and they have matching toys for it. It's a lot of fun. But that's mostly what I'm up to, aside from Command Zone's shenanigans, along with Jordan. So, yeah. And then where can we find our lovely and amazing guest GM?
I'm all over the internet at GM_Mace, like the weapon. If you pick up Quest of Yore, the Disney Pixar RPG, the first one they've ever made, I wrote the campaign for that. Well,
that's great.
70% of the campaign.
That's incredible.
pick it up. It's a great intro game for kids and families. If you're like, I want to play D&D, but I don't want to do all the D&D stuff. Everything's all in one box. So yeah, I'm all around. GM_Mace.
Awesome.
Well, everybody, thanks again for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode. And tune in next week for more of the Dice Ex Machina.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.